we're about the Game Bros Station, the Game Bros Cast, and another episode where we talk about Ducktales. Woohoo! Now, as you probably know, we've been gone for a few weeks. Mark will update us on that.
Yeah, what the hell?
But yeah, we saw the Neverrest episode, and here we go. Take it away, Mark.
Yeah, Mark.
Actually, real quick, sorry. It's me, Matt, and Mark.
Hi, Mark.
All right, Master Ceremonies. Now, Master Ceremonies, Mark McDuck. Talk away.
I'm actually really sad right now, but I'll tell you about that off air. Not related to this. Yes, as Jared had mentioned, we have been absent from a few DuckTales reviews, part of which just because, as we've mentioned, life gets in the way.
That it does.
Quite honestly, some of the episodes just didn't get enough of a reaction out of us to really, we think, merit a video. But this was kind of a good chance to get back into it. DuckTales took a little hiatus. We took a little hiatus. And, anything you guys want to add about what happened in the interim there?
No. Like I said, life got in the way. I haven't watched any of the episodes.
The episodes are okay, but yeah, we were kind of waiting for after their hiatus to continue this.
Right.
Yeah, I was too busy watching Stranger Things too. Time well spent.
I need to get in on that. I just finished the first season a while ago. But we're not here to talk about Netflix. We're here to talk about cable television. And episode 9, The Impossible Summit of Mount Neverrest. Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. That was great.
That's a terrible mountain cricket noise. So yes, in this episode, Scrooge, the nephews, Webby, and Launchpad decide to conquer the Duck or Disney version of Mount Everest, Mount Neverest, and are surprised to find a surprising cute alpine ski resort.
Yes, right at the base. Yeah. That was the base, right?
That was, I assume, the base, yes.
Okay, cool.
Along with uncovering that Scrooge in his younger days had once tried to conquer the mountain, was overly cautious in his youth, I suppose you could say, and in a weird way was betrayed, but then betrayed a famous mountain explorer.
Yeah, it was I
was a little confused with that dynamic.
Conflict of interest.
Only to continue to go up the mountain and discover its portal to the mountain.
Now you're thinking with portals.
Yeah. Which explains why no one ever gets to the top, because they keep getting wormholed every which way but the top.
Which I'll admit, it's kind of a cute way to describe how people who do journey in like jungles, mountain, things like that, always seem to get turned around with like intense weather and all that. So it's like, oh yeah, it's
like some Bermuda Triangle shit. Too.
Yeah, Bermuda Triangle, some Thor Dark World teleporting shit going on.
I still haven't seen that movie.
I thought that was like a cute concept.
You can skip it.
I did. I went right to Ragnarok.
Yep.
But anyway. So, actually, that pretty much describes the episode to a T. Aside from Launchpad having, what did they call it? Frost? Ice fever? Which I'm pretty sure was just hypothermia, the way they were describing some elements of it. And being swindled by a sleazy salesman. And then, of course...
Was he a dog?
He was a dog.
Okay.
He was a dag.
Because I was thinking he was like
He was a dog from Rock Dog. You know, the movie that was directed by Kung Fu Panda director, and everyone loved it except nobody.
Oh, yeah, that thing.
I'm going to choose to ignore that and try and keep us on topic with this review.
I'm going to bleach that out of my mind
Which led to some good moments with him and Louie, quite honestly. Louie was not having any of this and just quit the second he found out there was no treasure.
Yeah.
And, of course, Huey's trying to get a badge for cartography, I believe it was, correct?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
And... Scrooge eventually comes to his senses, I guess we could say. I think that's something that maybe Matt's going to address a bit later in the episode when we get to our thoughts and everything. So why don't we just segue right into that right now? Jared, any thoughts, takeaways of this episode?
So, I liked the fact that we finally got Scrooge back in an adventure, because it's been a few weeks.
Right.
Even before the hiatus, it's been a few weeks. But yeah, he's finally there. Once again, David Tennant did a great job voicing him. Especially the little, I like the moment where, like, he was like, woohoo, or whatever, and, like, the one piece of rock fell and, like, slid down. He was just like, he's just, like, a high-pitched version. And I'm like, because I'm just imagining him in the recording booth doing, like, that little high-pitched sound. It brings me joy. But, yeah, I like this adventure. I like the idea that the whole reason they were getting turned around which way is because of like portals they couldn't see, and how they figured that out too. I also like the fact that they've done a thing before where like whenever like with Dewey, the green one,
Dewey.
Louis.
No, Louis.
Okay, sorry. When Louis found there was no money, he was out. He was like, "I'm out," or whatever. But even though they cut someone away from it, they usually have them do something at least, or still be part of it sometimes.
Right.
So him interacting with Launchpad and working through that little sub story was good because he was still in the episode. He just wasn't in the main adventure. So I like the fact he still wasn't. They were still included them because sometimes some shows, once the character's like, "I'm out," they don't cut back to them until after everything's done. They're just like drinking a soda, like, so what happened? But this time we actually saw what happened with him, which is great. But yeah, I like the writing, the humor. I had fun with this one again.
Okay. Any major nitpicks or complaints or things you'd like to see improved?
No. I didn't really have any nitpicks on this one. I guess if I had the thing with sewing is, again, the kind of weird betray thing with the hiker guy he hired before was kind of weird because it's like the guy was an asshole, but he hired him, and then like they had that moment where he wanted to be safe, which is, you know, kind of the smarter option.
Yeah.
So he like cuts the rope and lets Scrooge loose, and then the guy eventually gets lost and dies. So he kind of got his comeuppance from that, but it was interesting. Other than that, I had fun.
Okay. And Matt, anything you care to share with your friends?
You were gonna say shits, huh? Anything you care to shit on this time? Fucking
You negative Nancy.
cynical bastard. Nah, I'm kidding. All right, so yeah, no, I actually think this is a pretty well-rounded episode, in my opinion. I actually kind of liked it. Kind of felt like a classic cartoon adventure vibe. I got that a little bit. I mean, again, I haven't seen DuckTales originally when it was aired, but like Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, whenever characters go off to like tackle a natural challenge of some sort, climbing mountains, surviving in the forest, it kind of had that vibe to it, and I kind of like the pacing, the whole theme around that. It was a lot of fun, and I also kind of like the overall message behind there. I mean, the initial message. I'm not going to say it was executed perfectly, but I like the idea where it's like you should be very passionate about what you want to accomplish, but you should never abandon common sense to live another day, to try again, or be smarter about how you approach things. And I think that was like the overall message of the episode that I've come to appreciate. It's actually kind of funny you were mentioning about the whole like Louis stepping away, and like normally episodes, someone steps away, adventure happens, and they come out, it's like, what did I miss?
Yeah.
But it's actually kind of funny. If I correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I think in DuckTales they actually don't even bother showing us the character that's not going to be in the episode. They just kind of show the group of kids or whatever characters. They go off, do their thing, come back, and then that's it. They don't even say like, oh, by the way, Louis was getting his boob job or something.
Yeah.
It wasn't like anything like that.
Yeah, they don't really, because Miss McDuck?
Mrs. Beakley?
Miss Beakley, thank you, sorry. Miss Beakley wasn't in the episode at all, and they didn't really mention her. She just wasn't there.
Or Donald.
Yes.
Or Donald.
Yeah, so that's usually the format I notice that DuckTales does. So, like, if you do see the characters at the beginning of the episode, whether they're on the main quest or not, they are going to be relevant to what happens overall. I don't know if we've seen an episode, or maybe, Mark, you have because you saw the other ones, where a character's there for a second. So it's like, oh, no, I'm just going to go shopping for a little bit. And by the end of the episode, the person comes back and says, like, yeah, I'm done shopping.
Yeah.
I don't think that's ever happened in a DuckTales episode that we've watched so far.
Not quite. Generally, whoever's there in the beginning is who you're going to be with for the remainder of the episode.
Yeah, so it was... Louis was a semi-cop-out, but not really. He had his own little venture. Mm-hmm. That being said, that was actually part of my con, which I guess I'm just impatient these days. Mm-hmm. I actually couldn't care much for Launchpad's side quest with him going hypothermia crazy, but...
yeah.
I guess it gave him an excuse to say, like, oh, yeah, Louis in this, sort of. I guess he can go do his thing and hang out with Launchpad while he goes nuts for some dumb reasons. But the other thing that kind of bugged me about the episode, just a little bit, was that I really felt Scrooge was kind of childish the whole time. Mm-hmm. Like, when we first saw the first couple episodes of the show, it seemed like Scrooge was always in control. Like, he was the deity mentor, whatever you want to label him as.
Seasoned veteran.
Yeah, seasoned veteran that the kids can look up to or resort to if they ever need to learn something or seek refuge of some sort. And I got that vibe in the beginning where like, oh yeah, Scrooge knows what's going on. He's going to teach the kids something. But throughout like near the last third, it was just like, oh no, Scrooge was just being a stubborn ass. He wanted to get to the peak. And the whole like Mallard thing, that was a really weird story where it's like, yeah, exactly what you said. Scrooge hired Mallard to help. And Mallard's like, dude, you're packing way too much shit. Drop it, or we're both going to die. He's like, no, yeah, I don't want to. And granted, Mallard's just like, okay, fine, fuck you. I'm going to cut this rope and you're going to go die. It's like, that didn't make...
a dick move.
That didn't really make any sense. But at the same time, it's like, it was actually kind of funny how one of the kids mentioned to Scrooge, saying like, okay, you passed Mallard. Why the mountain got revenge for you. Why are you being this way? And Scrooge was like, I'm not going to get revenge on the mountain, no. Or something. And I was like, okay, Scrooge, you're kind of losing your luster a little bit there by being a little childish. And again, he's often portrayed as a person who's in charge, knows what he's doing, and is there for the main characters when needed. And in this episode, they just kind of threw that out the window a little bit in a semi-immature way. He did learn his lesson eventually, but that's my nitpick there. But overall, it was a pretty fun episode. Look, I know we're going to get to your thoughts in a second, Mark, but I was going to ask you a question. The ski guy they hired, Mallard, whatever his name was, Millie Mallard.
Whatever.
I know it's a long shot, and this would totally tickle my nostalgic funny bone if it ever happened. Even though technically it wouldn't make any sense, do you think we might get any like future reference to Maui Mallard?
Oh yeah, I forgot about
Even though technically that's supposed to be Donald. But
that really weird video game.
Yeah, no, I loved that game as a kid.
I don't know. That would actually be a really fun...
I think it would be funny if they incorporated that with something with Donald himself.
I think that'd be really funny if they start off an episode, you think, Scrooge and the kids are going to go off on an adventure, but it's the second they go off, it's a day in the life of Donald, and then it just winds up being like something kind of in that Maui Mallard ballpark where he's, all dressed up and he's kicking butt, taking names and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But then, at the end they come back and they ask how was his day, and he's just like, oh, nothing happened or whatever. One of those cliche, but I think would be a fun tickle.
They're never going to do it because I don't really know the history of how Cold Shadow came into play. And I know the whole game, it looks like Donald, sounds like Donald, but technically it's not. It's actually a character named Maui Mallard who becomes a ninja.
That actually it is Donald depending on what region you are, though. Like, I think it's really
even
weird.
in America, it was like Maui Mallard and Cold Shadow.
No, I know, but it is Donald, but they changed it in the marketing because it was like maybe too, I don't know, they weren't
too
comfortable
violent,
with it. Yeah, I think. So,
yep, that was too violent. Let's cut to now where Donald's in Kingdom Hearts setting things on fire, lightning him, and of course, heal me, you mother! Anyway.
Or it would be funny if they were like walking out of a movie theater and... Or it would be funny if they were walking out of a movie theater and it was like, Maui Mallard 2, the whatever or something,
I'd be okay with that.
Anyway, sorry to get sidetracked there, but like I said, it was overall a great episode. This Neverrest. And honestly, yeah, I felt like it was a really good, well-rounded episode for adults and kids. So that's my thoughts. So, Mark, your name is Mark.
Hard to believe. I think I might be the little on the lower end of the spectrum here this time, Matt. Congratulations, you're moving up in the world.
Oh no.
I thought it was an okay episode. I kind of felt it was a little nah. I would have liked if they either elaborated more on the portal situation.
Yeah, I agree.
Or if they really went with the whole it's a dangerous mountain and Scrooge was betrayed by this one guy element. Like, one of those needed to be fleshed out more.
Yeah.
Or...
Yeah, I could totally see that. Like, explore how the characters came to be or the setting came to be rather than the adventure itself.
Yeah, if they just said something like, I don't know, due to the magnetic or whatever or something, or who knows how you justify wormholes on the mountain. But I mean, just any sort of cartoon thing where it's like, or if, I don't know, the natives believe that those or whatever of, if you, set out those foolish enough to conquer mountain never return, for just some sort of at least lore.
So some sort of like lore backstory thing, like with the underground rock people, like in that one episode.
Oh, yeah, a little something, just something so that it came out of
that.
nowhere.
Yeah.
I think was my thing.
Yeah, I can give you that one. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely felt like a plot device MacGyver thing.
Because like I like the idea of it. I just would have liked it if either the Mallard thing was the kind of big story we're revealing here, or the fact that the magic mountain is magic. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I am with that.
Yeah.
I think it was good. I think it was fun. I maybe would have liked it a little better also if instead of the whole frost ice fever thing, if maybe when Launchpad accidentally winds up back in the village, him and Louie, like every time something crazy is happening on the mountain, they cut back to him and Louie and they're like getting massages or, something,
Yeah,
sort of that juxtaposition,
show the contrast between
comedy gag, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have worked a little bit better, wouldn't it?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with those negativities, Mark. And I think it was just a mix.
I do think, though, compared to the other ones I've seen since in between our recordings of the episodes, this is a step in the right direction. I am looking forward to future episodes, at least.
Do you know how many more episodes are left on the season 1 roster?
I'm not entirely sure, actually.
If I had to guess, this is like 9?
Technically.
This is
10?
episode 9, and they don't have them necessarily listed on like the Wikipedia for it, which is weird. So,
if we're lucky, maybe 15.
15? I was going to say
15
13,
more.
but you know better than I do.
Give or take, depending what. They usually stick around at 24.
There should be 21 episodes.
Oh,
Okay, 21.
Okay,
So we're almost at the halfway mark.
And
so 12 more.
not counting any like specials or anything.
Oh,
Gotcha.
okay, cool.
So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed our review. It's good to be back. Good to be enjoying some fun time with Scrooge and the gang. Jared, would you like to take us on home?
Sure. So yeah, tune in next time, everybody, where we talk about more Ducktales, more shows, more things, more games, more stuff.
And don't forget, folks, we also want to know what did you think of the episodes if you watched them yourselves. Let us know in the comments section below. We're always interested to see different sides and different perspectives on things.
And if you like funny animals with weird voices, Matt, you're playing a little game called, what's it called? Saxophone Violin with John? What's it called?
It's called Banjo-Kazooie, you dumb piece of poop.
Well, there you go.
You're the great mighty Pooh. Sing us away.
That's Conquer.
I know, it's by the same company. Make the connections. All right, anyway, thank you. Mark, take it away, please.
This has been Game Bro Station to be continued next time.
Next time.
You have such beautiful voices to both of you.
God
Yes,
damn it,
thank you, Mark. To be continued, everybody.